Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. These are the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 2, Sevilla 1 at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium in Spain. And Sevilla will be thinking they should have got a point. They should have, maybe plucked a point in that game. And they absolutely deserved a point. However, Arsenal were very strong. We stood together. And that means that we can actually continue grinding out results. We are on top of the table in the UEFA Champions League. And that is going to be very, very key when it comes to determining who Arsenal play on the round of 16 and even in the quarterfinals as well. That is how crazy the group stages are and how important they are as well. So hit that button, subscribe to the podcast as well. We'll be doing the player ratings for that game as well in this video. So it's going to be a long one. You will bear with me really, guys, but let's get into it. Well, so number one, I think Gabriel Jesus' class yesterday was portrayed high in the air, and something we've got to talk about. Now, when we signed Gabriel Jesus, we all expected goals. We all wanted a striker that could give us 20 goals a campaign, and probably he's not that striker, and probably we misprofiled him as the fans and as the people who support Arsenal. We are looking at a striker that really loves to do other things apart from scoring many goals. And one thing you love about Gabriel Jesus is he can do those other things and you will be satisfied. He will hunt defenders down, he will assist, he will make the runs, he will actually battle every single defender. Doesn't matter how big you are, how quick you are, how experienced you are, whether you're Sergio Ramos, whether you are, it doesn't matter. You're Harry Maguire, it doesn't matter. And what we saw yesterday was a class performance, a pure class performance from a class player. If there is one thing Mikel Arteta has got to work on this guy, scoring goals. If you can get him into that business of scoring goals, Gabriel Jesus can simply be the best striker in the Premier League right now, because what he does, no other striker does. The only thing that the likes of Watkins, Ivan Toney, Erling Haaland do that he doesn't do is scoring goals. And of course, as a striker, you've got to score goals for you to count. For me, guys, I'm gonna say this. It's crazy, but I'm gonna say it. He's got to score goals to be recognized as one of the best strikers in Europe, and if he scores goals, he will be the best player, the best striker in the Premier League. He has the ability to not simply be the best player in the Premier League, but also to be the best, outfield player out there in the league. That is how good this guy is. So the assist for Gabriel Martinelli, Mikel said he wants to watch it back on slow motion. The turn. The moment he turns, he takes out a couple of players out of the game, and him turning, it just allows him to spot that run from Gabriel Martinelli, and the weight on the pass is absolutely perfect, because the pass takes 2 defenders out of the game, and Gabriel Martinelli has the goalkeeper to worry about. Only he's got the pace to cover that ground, and we saw it. He really covers the ground very, very quickly, but it is the pass and it is the turn. If he doesn't turn, he continues dribbling, and then he will be, he'll find himself winning a throw in. If he doesn't turn, it's easy for Sevilla to actually close him down. But when he turns, a couple of players have actually been taken out of the game. None of the players expected that, and it's an easy pass when you actually have the ability, and he's got the ability. So for yesterday, it was a Gabriel Jesus show, and of course, coming off injured, Mikel said that he wanted to come off because he was feeling uncomfortable. We hope nothing is serious. I hope personally nothing serious, because with Gabriel Jesus, in form, with Bukayo Saka coming back, with Gabriel Martinelli coming back in form as well, we might have goals coming back to the Arsenal games, and we might have comfortable wins coming back to the Arsenal games as well. So that is one of the points that I wanted us to look at. Don't sleep on Gabriel Jesus. We need a striker. We need a number 9, but his class is permanent. It will never go away. If he can get those consistent performances through the door, Arsenal fans will love him better. He will love himself better. Mikel will love him better. And I will definitely love him better as well. My second lesson in that game, ugly wins win you titles. And we won ugly. Absolutely, very, very ugly. You look at the numbers there, and you cannot really tell whether it was Sevilla against Arsenal or Sevilla against Celta Vigo. We had 43% ball possession. We had 81% pass accuracy, and we had around 427 touches as compared to 523 touches from for Sevilla. So they were the better side. And of course, when you go to Spain, when you go to the Ramon Sanchez, you're not going to have an easy game. It has never been an easy encounter. Madrid over the weekend have just drawn there 1-1. Right, I think Alaba connecting himself and an equalizer, was it from Vinicius Junior? Or I'm not really sure. Or Joselu. But the point is, Madrid did not beat Sevilla last weekend at the Ramon Sanchez. Arsenal have gone there, I think 4 days later, and we've picked up maximum points. Not a clean sheet, obviously, but and we were resilient. That was resilience. And in the Champions League, we have seen clubs win the Champions League. For example, Chelsea under Roberto Di Matteo. They won the Champions League, but they were not that good side. They were never the better side at one point in time. It was all about the resilience. It was all about being, strong. And for me, that was a strong performance from Arsenal. That is what you want to see. I mean, when you don't play well, when you do not have a good day, can you switch up to the next level? And the next level is, can we win without playing well? And I think we just did that. So, look, in the end, Mikel has to talk to this team, and we have to find a better way of winning games. We have to find a better way of providing entertainment to the fans. I don't think it is really, really worth it for you to pay a 1,000 or 2,000 ticket, in pounds, and then you watch that game. Even if I was watching the game on DSTV like I do, that subscription is expensive. So we need to see better football. We need to see much better football. But away at night at Sevilla in Spain, that was satisfying. That was overly satisfying. And if Arsenal win the title or win the Champions League or win any other competition with this kind of performances, I won't be surprised. These are the kind of performances that win you the title. These are the kind of performances that win you, silverware. You must be able to go over the bridge when you're not confident, because you can easily go over the bridge when you're confident, when the phobia is gone. But when you look down and your feet are shaking, can you actually do the job? Can you get the job done? Arsenal simply got the job done yesterday. Right, number 3, Kai Havertz is much better, lads. Kai Havertz is much better. I've seen this in the last 3 games. He's actually come from the bench. Man City, Sevilla, and now and Chelsea. He is much better. And why you can easily see that he's much better. Number 1, Odegaard is on the decline, and we've talked about Odegaard, this and that. Odegaard is on the decline. I think he's having that kind of blip. It's kind of a blip, right, in form. And also, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm gonna say it. I think the new role for Odegaard is not as comfortable as he actually was last campaign, and Mikel is to blame, so I've said it. However, Kai is better, and that is the point of this of this point. We have now seen him in 3 games where he comes in and he impacts games. One of the reasons why Mikel signed him, work rate, physicality, and we saw that against Sevilla yesterday. I mean, we were on the back foot. We were being chased down. We were trying not to concede an equalizer. Why would he bring on Kai Havertz if he doesn't trust him? Why would he bring on Kai Havertz if he knows defensively he is a shambles, or defensively he offers nothing? He brings on Kai Havertz because he knows 2 things. 1, he can get that pass for you that leads into a counter-attack. He doesn't have the pace, but he has the brain to pass that ball, to make that pass. Secondly, he's a very good presser, and he's a very, very, very press-resistant player as well. And again, physically, he's a much better player than Martin Odegaard. Physicality. I don't want to, spark a war on this channel. So I think he's one of those improvements, again, where Mikel is going to take a lot of credit. You can hear the critics of Kai Havertz, they're coming down. The critics of Kai are coming down, particularly due to two reasons. One, he's not started a game in Arsenal's last three. So it means that the people who didn't want him to start games are getting whatever they were asking for. But secondly, when he comes on, people are not concerned because they know there is some kind of value, there's some kind of quality this guy can provide. He's just not done it yet. And we have already seen it in a couple of games. He comes on and the game runs, fluid. And I love it about him because when you have a game changer on the bench, when you have a game controller on the bench, that is an asset that not so many teams have. If Manchester United take off Eriksen, they bring on Scott McTominay. When we take off Odegaard, we bring on Kai. I think there's a difference, a huge difference in there, and especially in terms of quality. So Kai is becoming much better. It's going to take some time. It will take some time, but I think ever since scoring that penalty, the confidence is coming back. The football is flowing a little bit, and you can see he's getting the visionary and the number 10 that we are seeing these days, guys, the number 10 that Mikel is creating for him, it is something very interesting. Now, whether Odegaard will find a new pocket of space, we are going to find out. But it looks like we might see Rice Odegaard deep, and at the pivot, at the tip of that pivot, we might see Kai Havertz playing in the 10. I'm not going to do an explanatory video, but of course, if he improves massively, then we will do an analysis about him. Point number 4, where is Thomas Partey? Why are we seeing Jorginho playing every game these days? Why is Jorginho starting in midfield over Thomas Partey? Where is Partey? I think that's the big question. Where is Thomas Partey, guys? Where is Partey? Why doesn't Partey play? As simple as that. I think Mikel is a genius, and I'm not really sure what is looked at here, what he's looking for. He's either protecting Thomas Partey, or he's either trying to prepare for life without Thomas Partey, especially in January. I mean, it will be very prudent, and it will be very, very, looking into the future and trying to solve problems before they come, being proactive, is something that is actually very, very good. So, I miss Partey. I want him in that midfield. I would love to see him, alongside Rice and Odegaard. But I think what Mikel has looked at here is when you have Partey and Rice, it's kind of very, very similar. So you better have Jorginho, who is more of a fluid central midfielder, more like Douglas Luiz, keeps things ticking, can release that dangerous pass at some point in time, can play the ball over the top as well. Very, very good at that. And I think that's what he's looked at. He's not playing Jorginho for his ability defensively. He's actually playing Jorginho for his ability to dictate play and manage games. Is it working at the moment? I'm sorry, Mikel. No, it is not working, but we can see the idea. But I would love to see Thomas Partey back in the starting lineup, and probably this weekend, I pray that he starts him. I pray that Partey comes back in the lineup, and we see what he can actually offer. Finally, Raya is under pressure. Raya is under absolute immense pressure. And I'm saying this not because I want him to be dropped. No, I'll do a video about that very, very soon. But the truth is David Raya is under pressure. And Mikel has actually created this, and we talked about it before. Any of these goalkeepers got a chance to step in goal when we had signed the second one, Raya. And we said there was going to be unnecessary pressure in this Arsenal team. And boy, oh boy, you can feel the pressure. I want Ramsdale to come back in goal for 1 or 2 games, and we will see the same thing. We will see Ramsdale focusing on the goalkeeper on the bench rather than focusing on his game. So for me, listen, if you're going to have 2 high-quality goalkeepers and they're going to focus on each other rather than focus on the team, then you've got to get rid of one. As simple as that. So let's do the player ratings in the last segment of the video. David Raya, 5 out of 10. I didn't like the display. Ben White, 5 out of 10. I didn't like the display as well. I thought they were resolute, like the team was resolute, but I don't think I like both Raya and Ben White. I think Sevilla's strength is right on the right hand side, and Ben White being a little bit shaky on the left hand side. Of course, look, Ocampos is always gonna create a couple of problems for you. You've got to you've got to know that. But Jesus Navas is always my biggest threat when it comes to Sevilla most of the time, because Ocampos creates a lot of good environment, but then he's not as effective as Jesus Navas. Tomiyasu, 7 out of 10, had a very good game. Saliba, 6.5 out of 10, same as Gabi, 6.5 out of 10 as well. Jorginho, 7 out of 10. I don't think he had a bad game, by the way, at all. Rice, 7.5 out of 10. Odegaard, 4 out of 10. My captain is actually coming down in terms of ratings. Jesus, 10 out of 10. Gabriel Martinelli, 7. Saka, 6. Kai, 7. And Mikel Arteta, 7 as well. Hit the like button. I'll speak to you right in the next one.